সুপ্রিয় সুধী, এই যে ডেটেন আপনাদের সকলকে স্বাগতম। সাথে রয়েছে আমি আরাফাত জুবায়ের। সাম্প্রতিক সময়ে সবচেয়ে আলোচিত চ্যাম্পিয়ন্স লিগ শেষ হলো গত পরশুদিন। চ্যাম্পিয়ন্স লিগ এবারে কেমন হলো, অনেক উত্থান পতনের মধ্য দিয়ে গেল এবং সর্বশেষ বায়ার্ন মিউনিখ চ্যাম্পিয়ন হলো। তো চ্যাম্পিয়ন্স লিগের পোস্টমর্টেম আমরা করব। আমাদের সাথে যুক্ত হয়েছেন বাংলাদেশ জাতীয় ফুটবল দলের কোচ জেমি ডে, শুধু ইংল্যান্ড থেকে যুক্ত হয়েছেন। আমাদের আজকে অনুষ্ঠানটি ইংরেজিতে হবে। জেমি, ওয়েলকাম টু এজে ডেরেনা।
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you very much. Jamie, at first, I want to know how are you and your family in COVID-19 situation?
Yeah, we're all very well, thank you. UK situation is getting better, so we're getting slowly back to normal life. But family's all good, and back to school next week. So getting back to normality in the UK.
Yes, I hope so. Your family and you will stay safe, remain days. Jamie, this Champions League is so much excited than previous few editions. So what do you think about the championship of Bayern Munich?
Yeah, I think if you look over the course of the Champions League, Bayern Munich were the most consistent team in the competition. I felt it was a close game in the final, but you know, I thought beforehand Bayern had a stronger team than PSG, and I think that showed over the 90 minutes and probably deserved to win in the end.
Yeah, so PSG has a good forward line like Di Maria, Neymar, Mbappe, but they are not so much effective in the final match. What do you think on it?
Yeah, it was always going to be difficult because they had, you know, like you say, a front three that on their day are world class, and they needed to perform, all three of them really, to have a chance of beating Bayern. You know, like I said, Bayern probably are a much more solid team, have a better 11 in my view. Probably Mbappe, Di Maria, and Neymar didn't play as well as they would have liked. Both Neymar, all three had good chances to score in the first half, and second didn't take them and paid the price for that. I felt probably over the 90 minutes Bayern were slightly ahead, and like I say, probably deserved to win it in the end.
Yes. As a coach, how much you enjoyed the tactical session between two coaches, Bayern and PSG? How will you analyze your the coaching point of view?
Yeah, well, I mean, both coaches done exceptionally well to get to the final. Both, you know, very good coaches. And you know, it's always going to be a tough game, especially in finals, because teams cancel each other out, and you know, both teams have done a lot of homework on each other, and that was seen in the final. I think you know, we'd liked it to have been open and end to end, and that didn't really happen until bits of the second half. I think it showed how tactics were used in the first half, and how they, you know, like I say, cancel each other out and made it difficult for both teams to really play.
Do you think that the Manuel Neuer make the difference actually? Manuel Neuer.
Who? Sorry.
What do we analyze is the Manuel Neuer
I think he
performance on
made
the
some
final
very
match?
good saves at important times.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think he made some really important saves at the right times for Bayern Munich, and shows that if you have a world-class keeper, when called upon, they need to make the saves, and he done that, you know, 2 or 3 times. He was in the right place at the right time, showed why he's one of the best keepers in the world, and they know that they can rely on him. So for me, you know, he showed what an important part of the Bayern Munich team he is.
Yes. One of the journalists asking on our comments, do you think that the PSG lost the match on first 45 minutes? They lost many chances on first half.
Well, I think if you look at the first half, I think, you know, the front three all had really good chances. You know, Neuer pulled off a good save from Neymar. Mbappe should have scored when the cross was pulled back. You know, 9 times out of 10 he would score that, and Di Maria had a good chance when he got played through onto his right foot and put it over. So, you know, in games, in all games, especially in finals, you need to take your chances, and PSG didn't do that, and obviously paid the price in the second half for not taking the chances they created in the first.
Yes, but especially the Manuel Neuer established the new theory of goalkeeping, the sweeper goalkeeper, and he is usually come in front of the box and he usually use the most times the legs. What do you think actually the Neuer performance overall?
Yeah, yeah, no, done very, very well. Like you say, he's a sweeper keeper. He can play with his feet. Very good distribution with hands and feet. So it shows an important part of having a keeper that can do both sides of the game. But you know, as a keeper, you're there to stop the ball from going in the net, and he done that. You know, 2 or 3 good occasions, and when called upon, done his job.
Yes, but for the first time PSG entered into the final. This is the history for the French club for the PSG. So what do you think about the PSG journey overall?
Yeah, I think PSG obviously has spending a lot of money to get to where they want to be. They have some world class players. Obviously, like I said, I'm guessing it will be a very big budget, but you know they've got to the final. They haven't quite achieved winning it, but they've made massive strides in the last couple of years and probably a little bit before that as well, and have shown that they can compete with the best teams in Europe. So, you know, their journey is probably not complete yet, and until they've won the Champions League, then I don't think they'll be fully satisfied with that. They've shown in the league that they are the best team, and now they need to try and dominate in Europe if they can.
How will you analyze the against the Neymar performance?
I think Neymar would feel that he should have done or could have played better. I think, you know, like I say, it was a big responsibility for Mbappe and Neymar to really perform to give them a real serious chance. I think there was flashes of Mbappe and Neymar in the game, but obviously not enough, and didn't give Bayern enough problems throughout the 90 minutes. So I think they'll be disappointed with their performance and the end result, because you know we know they can play a lot better than they did. But it's tough to keep repeating match winning performances, you know, all the time.
Yes. Now, what will say regarding the historic match, Barca and Bayern? It is the historic match of world football, Bayern and Barca.
Yeah, I think that you know it's shown that Barca have just fallen behind a little bit with the best team in Europe, which is obviously Bayern Munich at the minute. I think you know there might be a few changes now at that club, and there might be a little bit of a transition for Barcelona. They still have you know fantastic players. They've reached the semi-finals of Champions League, but I think that you know they're going to need to add some more quality to their squad. You know, because if you look at the semi-final, then they're a bit behind Bayern.
How you will evaluate the fancy work?
Say that again. Sorry.
You're not hearing me?
Not that question. I didn't hear that question.
Yes, I'm asking you again. Actually, the Bayern Munich and Barcelona, it is the tragedy match for the Barcelona. The many expert and many opinion are saying that it is a fault of the Barca coach. So as a coach, what do you think? What is the fault of Barca coach on that match?
Yeah, I think the coach is always going to take criticism for when you lose games. You know, because they obviously set a team out to play, and um, you know they make the decisions on who starts. Obviously, some of the blame also will go with the players because they didn't perform well enough on the night. Like I said, they have fantastic players, world class players. So you know, I think everyone at Barcelona has to take a bit of criticism for that performance, not just the coach. I think it's easy just to blame the coach and say it's the coach's fault, but it's um, you know 11 players, and the players that were involved in that game also need to take responsibility. And obviously the performance wasn't good enough on that day.
Okay, but do you think that the PSG more dependent on the most three guys, the Neymar, Mbappe, and Di Maria?
Well, I think all teams have players that they rely on to win games and um, you know keep clean sheets. I think PSG, yes, do rely on Mbappe, Neymar, Di Maria, and obviously they've shown for most of the season that they are key players and can win them games. It's not just about them three. Verretti's been fantastic for them, who's obviously didn't start in the final because of injury, and the back four of PSG are solid. So I don't think that it's just about them three, but they are the key players for PSG. And if you can stop them players, then it gives you obviously a better chance. I think in Europe, yes, they rely on them to perform in the big games to get the results. And just unfortunately against Bayern, Bayern, managed to stop that threat.
Yes. But for COVID-19 situation, the UEFA decided the change for the one leg system. How we evaluate the one leg policy? Will should follow it, the UEFA?
Yeah, I think people like to have two legs because you can afford to not perform as get away with it in one of the games as long as you're still in the match. But I think it's more exciting one leg. I think teams have to go into the games looking to win rather than maybe looking to draw or just get a fairly good result to take home in the second leg. I think now that had happened this year with the one leg, it's made the games more open, obviously more goals, as you've seen from Barcelona and Bayern. So I think there is a positive to it. I'm not sure what coaches around the world would say on one or two legs, but I think definitely one leg makes it more exciting to watch.
Yes. But how will you analyze the English league's club's performance on this championship? Because Man City was favorite against Leo, but unfortunately they lost the match.
Yeah, I think Man City's had a frustrating season. They've obviously finished second in the league and got knocked out in the quarterfinals, so they'll be disappointed. I think English teams, will want to get to the final again, like we did previously. So I think they'll be looking to improve for next season. I think, like I say, Man City will be slightly frustrated that they didn't manage to get further than they did because, the Lyon performance wasn't good enough and unfortunately got knocked out.
For COVID-19 situation, what do you think it will, how much impact on the upcoming transfer in world football transfer?
Yeah, I think it will affect most teams, especially with transfers and players that they can bring in and let go. I think it will be interesting. Coaches now might have to work with younger players and players that fit into their wage budget and bracket. So it might be extra work for the coach and extra work on the training grounds, but it's going to be the same for the majority of teams, and it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I think obviously the bigger teams will still be able to buy the best players, but they might be at reduced rate now, and clubs might need to sell their bigger players to keep their clubs going. So it's going to be an interesting transfer window.
It is a big question for the overall football arena. So what should Messi do to stay on Barcelona or should leave another club?
I think from my point of view, I'd like to see Messi play in another league. I think if you look at Ronaldo, he's shown that whatever league he's gone to, he's been the best player. He's played in Spain, Italy, and England, and won medals in every league. I think Messi's an unbelievable player, and obviously we all associate him with Barcelona. But I would like to see him maybe come to England and just to see if that he can keep repeating that levels, in a different country.
Yes, it's a great challenge for the Messi. So one of our viewers asked a question. I am reading you. Don't you think the tunnel didn't have any answer about the Paradise because his job was to deliver ball to Neymar and Pong, but Muller and Goretzka pressed him continuously, and Herrera alone wasn't enough able to create from the back. Don't you think and lost the battle in there?
Well, I think, as I said before, I think Bayern have a stronger team, and whilst I think maybe that could be the case that they didn't get the ball to them free enough, they still had three really good chances in the first half. And if they would have scored one or two of them goals, then it's a completely different game. And Bayern are then chasing the match, and the match will open up. Unfortunately, them players didn't take that chance. And then probably in the second half, I thought Bayern got on top of the game and controlled the game and had a lot more possession, like you say. So, yeah, maybe. But at the end of the day, I felt that Bayern had a stronger team anyway going into the game, and PSG would need to, all 11 would need to have played to their best to get a result. Unfortunately, some of them players didn't. Like I say, when they got the chances, they didn't take them. So, and Bayern got on top and then sort of dominated that possession and chances in the second half.
What do you think about the Leipzig performance? They played the semi-final, Leipzig.
Yeah, very well. They had a great competition, very good team, good manager. They've come a long way in a short space of time, play some very good football, lots of movement. So they're a good team to watch, and I'm guessing they'll want to do what PSG have done and get into the final and win the Champions League, sooner rather than later.
They played very well. They played very well, and they are doing good on there. So do you think that the COVID-19 situation also impact on Bangladesh football also? Because today the Bangladesh players met with the Bangladesh Football Federation regarding the transfer. It's all over the world the same situation. So, however, you are now in England. So what do you think about the COVID-19 situation? How much impact on the English football? Because the English football league is the most popular league in the world. So, actually, what do you think? It will be how much impact on English Premier League?
Yeah, I think as we've seen, I think that it's a difficult situation for all countries around the world and all leagues around the world. They're in a situation they've never been in before. So the Premier League has obviously continued with no supporters, and that's been difficult, I think, for clubs and especially lower leagues. I think the lower leagues in England have really struggled because they rely on people watching the games to pay for wages and help the club run. So I think the next year is going to be tough in English football. I think Premier League is slightly different because of the amount of money that's involved with TV rights and sponsorship. But I definitely think that the lower leagues in England have struggled, and I think it will take a year or so to get out of that and back to normality. I think all leagues have shown around the world that they're going to struggle for a period of time, and hopefully all them clubs come through it and come out of it stronger when it's all over.
Yes. So, sir, if it is on Bangladesh, will play FIFA World Cup qualifiers, then at this moment you will be in Dhaka. But unfortunately, FIFA cancelled the schedule. That's why here in UK, the players are in the hold of the camp. So it was overall how much frustration for the player and coaches in the COVID-19 situation overall.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. Obviously, as a coach and players, they want to be out training and playing. And we knew it was going to be touch and go whether the games would go ahead because of obviously COVID and health and safety and making sure that everyone is safe, and that's the most important thing. But as obviously coaches and players, you want to play, and it's disappointing that the game's been cancelled, but we understand why they've been cancelled, and I think probably the right reasons, in doing so. So now for us, it's obviously hopefully we can get the league back up in Bangladesh towards the end of the year. We can get the players back playing, and then we can look. I'm guessing that it's going to be a really busy 2021 with international games because of obviously the games being cancelled this year. So in a way, it could be an exciting 2021 with lots of international games, during that whole year.
Yes. But for the COVID-19 situation, the substitute was a five, except the three players. But for this reason, the tactical change, the coaches, the reshuffle again and again. So, what do you think that policy?
On shuffling coaches,
Yes, yes, yes,
yeah. Listen, it's tough being, coaching and now with the situation it is. I think that the managers and coaches are really going to have to coach their teams, on a regular basis and not rely on just players getting them out of trouble. So I think that it's important now that there's going to be a lot of work going in on the training pitch because if you don't get it right, then people will change their coaches, sooner rather than later because they want success. So I think it's going to test some coaches and managers because some managers don't like to coach. But I think if there's going to be restrictions in budgets and stuff, then managers will have to do probably 2 or 3 jobs now instead of just having the one. So it's going to be interesting, but I think it will show the good coaches and the managers from the ones that are not so good.
It's a big challenge for the coaches because the COVID-19 situation, the fitness, and lots of issues on there, lots of the medical guideline also. So actually, what do you think this kind of the COVID and this for this kind of unavoidable situation, the developing countries like Bangladesh, India, subcontinent, it will be how much effect than the Europe's?
Yeah, I think, like I say, with Europe, there's some big leagues and lots of money being spent, so that's going to be easier for them countries. I think the smaller nations, it's going to be very difficult. I think that, you know, there's going to be clubs that are really going to struggle to get back to where they was, and budgets are going to be cut, and players' wages are going to be cut. So I think it's going to be a difficult time for some clubs, and it might take a long time for them to recover. So, you know, it's going to be difficult times, I think, more so in Asia than in Europe.
Yes, it's too much difficult. What's your message for the players? Because many players are watching you from Bangladesh, from the others world. What's the message for your players?
Yeah, I mean, I speak to the players, you know, regularly during the week, so they understand where we're coming from as a coaching staff. But you know, I want them all to stay safe. I want them all to keep working as hard as they can now to get themselves ready for when the season may start. I know it's been frustrating for them mentally and physically, but they've done really well on the training sessions that we've gave them and the sheets that we've asked them to fill out. And you know, I'm just hoping that they can keep themselves fit. Obviously, Kings players have got something to look forward to, and hopefully the rest of the players will have something to look forward to soon.
It's a good news for you. Most of the players of you are almost the COVID negative. There is almost free, so it's a good news for you.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You know, we don't want anyone in the world having
Yes.
COVID. So, you know, for us, the players are all, as far as I'm aware, tested negative now. So that's something that's really positive. And like I say, hopefully we can start building for the future now.
Thank you very much, Jamie, for your giving valuable time. Say something for the viewers of the AJ Arena.
Yeah, just to wish everyone to stay safe, look after yourselves and your families. Thank you for obviously tuning in and listening to our conversation, and keep well.
Thank you, Jamie, for your most valuable time. Stay safe with your
Thank
family and
you.
you, and hope you will come to Bangladesh very soon if
Yeah.
the
See you
situation
soon.
changes. Yes, you soon. Thank you, Jamie.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. সুপ্রিয় দর্শক, আমরা তখন আলোচনা করছিলাম বাংলাদেশের জাতীয় দলের ফুটবল কোচ জেমিদের সাথে। চ্যাম্পিয়ন্স লিগ এবার কেমন হলো, পিএসজি বায়ার্ন মিউনিখ কেন জিতলো তার ব্যাখ্যাগুলো শুনলাম আমরা, এবং পরবর্তী সময়ে আমরা হাজির হব অন্য কোনো বিষয় নিয়ে। ততক্ষণ পর্যন্ত আপনারা এজেডের সাথেই থাকুন। ধন্যবাদ সকলকে।